a kinship, a friendship there. Joy Taylor with the news.
Turn on the news. This is the Herd Line News.
I love that Tony has gotten you into a skincare routine.
Well, I'm going to do it until the bottle runs out. And
It
then
actually says something that you don't have a skincare routine. You look great.
and a lot of makeup, a lot of bond.
Like, I have a morning routine. I have different lotions for the morning, and then for at night, different masks. Yes, but I have sensitive skin, so I'm like very particular about it.
You have sensitive skin?
Yeah, like if I change to different lotion,
What,
like my whole face peels. Yeah,
Joy.
It's a journey. I do. I swear I do. I take care of it. That's why it doesn't freak out. Anyway, no one cares about this. Aaron Rodgers lit up the Bears defense with 240 yards and 4 touchdowns on his way to a 35-16 Packers victory. He finished his MVP campaign with a league-leading 48 touchdown passes and the fewest interceptions of any quarterback who started all 16 games with 5. Quite a season. The win clinched the top seed in the NFC. For the Packers, who now have a bye this week. The Bears still made the playoffs because the Cardinals lost to the Rams. Cardinals-Rams game was wild.
It was weird.
Yes. They'll travel to New Orleans to face the Saints on Sunday, will the Bears, and obviously the Packers have the bye. I don't feel good about this game for the Bears.
Oh, I think it's a terrible matchup for the Bears. Yeah, I believe the Saints have the best roster in the NFL, but somebody said something earlier. No, it was Greg Jennings, and he really summed it up. Drew Brees, cold weather, Lambeau. All year, I've thought Green Bay could get to the NFC Championship and not through. But this morning, Seattle's offense right now is uninspiring to say the least. And I don't think New Orleans can go up there and beat Green Bay. I just don't think that. And the Rams offense now without Goff, forget it.
No, it's totally fair. And that doesn't say any. That's not a knock on what Green Bay is capable of.
But sometimes you get breaks.
Yeah, and breaks, and they had an incredible season and won the games they were supposed to win, so they get the bye and it goes through Lambeau. Yeah, like that's because they're a great team. That works in your favor. Everybody wants home field advantage. Even in a COVID year where you don't have fans, you still don't have to travel. This is still your space, still your stadium. But that's a testament to the Packers season. Yeah. Like they did that on purpose. They won that game the way they did so they could get the top seed. But I'm with you. It's going to be a tall task for the Saints to go there and do that, assuming obviously they make it to the NFC Championship game. But they're going to have the Bears. I'm not going to write anyone off in the playoffs this year because I think it's been a really wild year and there's a lot that can happen. It's going to be a very interesting game, though. So the Ravens made a statement on their way to clinching their spot in the playoffs. They beat the Bengals 38-3, set a franchise record 404 total rushing yards in a single game. Lamar Jackson accounted for 97 of those yards, which gave him 1,005 yards on the season, making him the first quarterback to have multiple 1,000-yard rushing seasons. They will go to Tennessee in the wild card rounds.
Love Baltimore in that game.
And will look to avenge last year's early playoff loss to the Titans.
And I don't want to hear it's just the Bengals because the Bengals have given some good teams
some fits.
Yeah, so I thought he threw the ball really, really well. I just love now mocking people who tell me he can't throw. It's like, oh, it's funny. I watched him yesterday for an hour and he threw the ball. He's not Justin Herbert. The ball doesn't fly out of his hands.
I think we also have to get out of the space where we compare each quarterback in the league squarely now. There's so many different types.
Sizes, shapes.
Yes. Skill sets. Like they're just, it's so, Kyler Murray is a running quarterback and he looks nothing like Lamar Jackson.
By the way, if you get the right coordinator, Lamar wouldn't be this effective without Greg Roman. So, and by the way, Brady, Josh McDaniels, they were like brothers. Like a lot of this, Brian Daboll and Josh Allen, like saved his career.
There's a lot of moving parts to all this. It's not very simple.
No, the right coordinator goes a lot. Look how comfortable Ryan Tannehill is with, Smith? Arthur Smith, the offensive coordinator of Tennessee. I've never seen Ryan Tannehill as a Pro Bowler. He was so inconsistent with Adam Gase in Miami. Some of that is just the coach.
Fit matters, and they look great. They've won 5 straight to finish the season and ended the season with a record of 11-5. They haven't lost since Lamar returned from the COVID list. I love them going into the playoffs. I do think momentum matters a little bit. You have a little more confidence. Things are clicking. You're not working through things. You don't have to make major adjustments going into the playoffs.
Tennessee can't stop anybody. They can't stop
They're
anything.
still super dangerous. Derrick Henry, 2,000 yards rushing this season. He's a problem. If they can contain him, which teams have been able to do throughout the season, if they can contain Derrick Henry, then I'm going to lean towards
How about
Baltimore.
the Ryan Tannehill throw at the end of that? Was that the craziest thing? I mean, that's Ryan Tannehill. Your first 5 years in the league, you're like, Ryan Tannehill comes out, there's 30 seconds left, bomb. Perfectly thrown.
It was gorgeous.
Best throw of the weekend.
Yep. Finally, the Eagles lost to Washington, ending the Giants' hopes of getting into the playoffs. Many players and fans were angry at the Eagles for seemingly throwing the game. Giants corner Logan Ryan had a different outlook. After being eliminated, he told Peter King there will be a lot of opinions about whether they were trying to win. You want to play the game to win. But I don't play for the Eagles. I don't coach for the Eagles. It's their team. Winning 6 games doesn't give us much right to get pissed off about this. We didn't play consistent enough all year to earn it. Yes, I would tend to agree with him in this space. I don't really care about the Giants whining and complaining about not getting in.
That's a separate issue than benching Jalen Hurts, though.
It is. There are 2 separate issues.
Right.
Yes. Giants and Giants fans.
Get over it.
Get over it. You need to win more games, and then you don't have to rely on Washington to lose to get into the playoffs. So I'm not crying a river for you. The Eagles, on the other hand, and for everyone watching that primetime game last night, I mean, it's just, what are you doing?
It's amazing. If Jalen Hurts was in his 11th year, I get it. Jalen Hurts, you're trying to win a game against a rival, knock him out of the playoffs. Carson Wentz, you've offended.
Right.
Jalen Hurts is your guy.
Your future.
I just Doug, Jalen Hurts, that win mattered.
It absolutely
go
did.
Into the offseason with you knocked him out of the playoffs.
It's a division rival. I mean, it says something that there is collective confusion around the entire industry, fans, other teams, and media, that nobody understands what the purpose of that was. Who cares about this? No one. What? This is what the preseason next year is for.
Yeah.
You got to get him some snaps for what?
It's like not high school football.
It was really ridiculous.
Joy with the news.
Well, that's the news.
And thanks for stopping by.
The Herd Lie News.
It is funny, though. There's 14 playoff teams. 4 I would classify as red hot. Baltimore, Buffalo, Green Bay, Tampa. 2 are really good, but not what I would say red hot. Kansas City, New Orleans. 8 have major issues. Tennessee's got a bad defense. Seattle, a bad offense. Chicago, Colts, Washington, Rams have quarterback issues. Cleveland sputtering here at the end, has a terrible back 7. Pittsburgh can't run the ball. And it shows you can have flaws and make the playoffs. You can have chaos in the middle of a season. Bears lost 6 straight. You can have a defense that may be the worst in the league, Tennessee. You can have an offense right now that may be the worst in the league, Seattle. You